Right. We should be live. I'm solo, so I've got no one to check whether things are going good, bad, or ugly. There's one thing I wanted to do whilst I let you guys roll in, which is get some photos ready to show you, because I have been thinking, is that camera good? It's not what I want to do. Give me a shout if something is not working or as expected, because I'm on my own. We'll kick off in 5 minutes. Just sorting one last little thing out. Might check 1, 2. Oh. Bless. Woo. What's that? Actually, we're gonna show you this first. Cool. Cool. There you go. Heard it. Right. Let's give that a like. Right. We'll give it 2 minutes. Yeah. Kabaza is sick today, so we will be in fact, we've unchecked my own Twitter. It should be on my Twitter now. Cool. Nice. On my Twitter as well. Hello. People are trickling in now. If you're on Twitter, if you want to check it out on YouTube, come join in the comments. Scan this QR code, take a little screenshot of your phone, and it'll pick it up and you can go through, give us a like, give us a subscribe. And with that, actually, I'll show you something. Basically, last weekend, I woke up at 7:30 in the morning, and I looked on Twitter and I saw that there was an event, a pop-up event going on in London by Anthropic, by Claude, and they're giving away free hats. I don't think I actually knew that I thought it was just going to be a merch shop, so you could buy a bunch of merch. So I went there expecting to spend a load of money because I'm a big dork. And I, so I saw that. And I was like, oh, God, I live about, everywhere in London. I don't know whether you've ever been, but everywhere in London is like 45 minutes at least. Probably takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to get pretty much anywhere. I live just on the outskirts, so I basically the next train, because I knew I needed to get there early, because otherwise it just gets busier and busier. So I read this tweet at 7:30 in the morning. The next train was at 8:30, so I got up, got everything ready, and got on the train into the centre of London. And I was presented with a queue, only a little queue. So I don't know whether you can't see my mouse or anything. Can you? No. Oh yeah, you can. It kind of went around the corner, and honestly, this was a short version of the queue, and I started chatting to these people all in the queue because I'm a bit of a chatterbox, and I was in the queue for about half an hour, all to get to the front, and it's just a little magazine shop, and it kind of had all this Claude artwork, which I love. And this is kind of when I found out that, and they were giving away like a book, a free hat, and I think these guys were asked to sit there for a bit of a photo shoot. So I don't know if you've seen those, but yeah, this is me at the front of the queue, looking like an absolute dork. Took some nice little photos here or there, and they were giving away free banana bread. Basically, the long and short of it, it was all free. Everything was free. You had these caps, and I could not decide which color cap I went for. The red one I'm sort of looking at these days and thinking, oh, maybe I should have gone red. But they were giving away free coffee in these Claude mugs, these Claude cups, which I wanted to keep, but also like I'm just keeping trash around. Free hat, free banana bread, and as I say, a free book. And then inside there was like a photo booth, and they allowed you to kind of take these photos as well. So I just got chatting to some people in the queue, just chatting about AI and stuff. It was a really, I don't know, just a wholesome little nerdy morning I had before my day properly started, because I was kind of in and out by maybe about 11, something like this. And then I walked back around to kind of go into the queue, and the queue was even longer. And I think it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I think they even stopped giving away stuff like free hats. I think it was just coffee only on the Sunday. So I'm glad I got my hat. But if the queue was reasonable, I probably would have gone back and got a red cap as well, because I kind of like both. And plus everything seems to be, I don't know. This seems to be black and grey at the moment. And my videos that I've recorded in the last few days, all black and grey and whatever. So that's all I wanted to share with that. That's all I've been up to. Let me get my notes up, and we can start to get the ball rolling. And in fact, actually, I also wanted to share my agent usage. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you'd have seen that I've been talking a lot about agents, or LinkedIn, I'm talking a lot about agents. Yesterday, I had at least 3 agents, in fact, 3 agents working at once, potentially even 4 or 5. And it was quite difficult to keep my mind like locked into what each of them are doing. But basically, I don't want to bore you with the specifics, but I've got to outreach to sponsorships for my channel, to obviously get sponsorships. And in fact, I've turned off ads on my own YouTube channel. My username is there on my screen. I've turned off ads, because if I'm getting sponsorships, I don't want to bother people with. I think people are just getting so frustrated with ads all the time. I've just turned them off. I'd rather get the engagement. I'd rather get the people looking and learning at the videos. That all being said, I need to get my sponsorship game up in order. So I created a database of my sponsorships, so I could have a pipeline to know whether I've contacted them. Basic CRM stuff if you have your own clients. I had a couple of NAN workflows as well that read my emails and then decide whether they're a sponsor, and if they're an existing sponsor, kind of add it to the Notion card that involves them. If they're not, then create a Notion card. And then also I needed to collect a list of people who were sponsoring videos. So with those kind of goals in mind, I had one agent running, and it was just comment in the browser. One agent just going, it was just had NAN on the screen, and I said, create me a workflow that does this, and it was just churning it out. I left kind of that do its thing. I had another agent. What was the other one doing? It was another comment agent. I think it was looking on Theo.gg's kind of, he has a sponsorship list, to go through all of those and add those to the Notion database, because you can at mention other tabs and at mention other tools and integrations inside of Comet that you can tell it to move stuff into. And in fact, you can have a Notion integration, but I just had it in another tab. So I just at mentioned that other tab and say, put these in there, had that one going. And then I had Tray, which is one thing I've been talking about recently. If you go to samuelgregory.co.uk/Tray, TRAE, there is a free solo thing. I don't get anything from that. Genuinely, I don't get anything from that at all. It's just you get a month free of their solo mode, which is their agentic kind of ID, like their agentic browser. I'll show you it quickly now, because I want to show you the actual tool that I built. Window. I don't see any icons, but I think it's this one. Let's have a little look. Yeah, it is this. So basically, if we add a terminal here, so this is Tray, by the way, and then there's solo mode, which is this agentic thing. If I go pnpm dev, I think my backend is running, but we'll just make sure. Pnpm run server. And we go into browser here. In fact, let's. Can you see that? Good. I want to get it into the window, the browser mode. Here. What I've built is, and all this was done in like a morning. Let me just preface that. All this was done in the morning. This is just a local website I've got running, and all I do is put a YouTube person's username in, so another developer username, and it will use the YouTube API to go off and collect all of their descriptions of their videos, because presumably they mentioned sponsorships in the videos. It goes through all of their videos, passes all of that data through to an AI to determine whether there's a sponsorship link in there, and then add them to the database. So I obviously scraped my own channel for my own sponsors, and then Theo's was just a test one. But I did all this before I had a local database, so I did a bunch more searches, and then that uploaded then to my Notion database. So basically, the long and short of it is, I have a massive database of sponsors to reach out to and track the progress and do this, that, and the other, all built by agents. And you've got to think about it, that I was doing other things in the background. I was doing other work in the background whilst this stuff was just churning all of these things out for me. And there's the power of agents, I think. So that's been my week. I think we'll crack on with the show. We're already coming up to 10 past now. This week's going to be really interactive. You could probably already tell by all the stuff I'm showing. It's going to be really interactive. So there's a few things out this week, which you've seen in the title. We're actually going to do it in real time. We're going to do it live, because I've not had a chance to play with them yet. I started to before the show, as I normally do, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to pause and we're just going to do it together. So with that, let's crack on. I'll do the intro just so everyone here knows what we're going to be talking about, and then we will crack on with the first item. It's very hard to find all of the tabs that we've got to go through. Let's just do that. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So this week, we'll be going over two site of the weeks, my own, and then Kabaz has sent one through for us to go through. Opus 4.5, the best new coding model in the world. Perplexity try-on. We'll also be taking to the comments, where we have a look at what you have to say, including Framer performance and Meta's SAM model. All of this in today's episode. This is Cmd+AI, and I'm Sam, and this is a week in AI design and dev. So with that, let's have a look at this week's site of the week. And that is one that Kabaza sent through. And I haven't had a look at this at all yet. In fact, let me just do the intro of Site of the Week. So I want to try and do this thing. Site of the Week is where we take a look at the sexiest websites of the week for your nerdy pleasure. See these on an award site. See these on an award website near you soon. Cool. So this looks really nice. And funnily enough, the one that I sent through is very, very similar. This is nice, isn't it? Really clean. I think we'll talk about it a bit later on, but a lot of the ones, we've gone through in the past have been criticized for their kind of just chaos, whereas this one's quite calming, which I guess suits the whole Mindmarket. What are these guys about? Mindmarket delivers global qualitative market research through real people who understand local cultures. We connect you with the voices that matter. There you go. So it's a market research partner, basically. This is nice. Look at that. What are these? Are these lotties? Are they rives? I don't have that plugin that Kabaza has where it shows you. It was built in Astro, so I can see that there. I'm looking for, and served on Netlify. I'm looking for something that states Rive. By the way, if you are, here we go, Rive. There it is. I thought it might be Rive. There it is. Yeah. So it's Rive. Nice. If you are on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. You can join in the comments and keep me company because I'm on my own this week. Kabaza's off sick, unfortunately. But yeah, everything's just quite simple and nice, really. They need to delay. I don't know if you can see it, but they need to delay. You can see the tiny white spot there, but I'm just nitpicking. Let's have a look at the menu. Oh, nice. Look at that. Feels very much like what's that orange meditation app? Mind something or other. Feels like their sort of design. This is nice. And I wonder if this is one. Well, we can have a look, but I wonder if this is one massive. Okay. So there are images. Maybe Rive isn't being used for all these then. It looks like they are animated SVGs or something. But you can see a big list of images because this will maintain the kind of structure of the website. It's not all like position fixed and all that lot. Very cool. Nice. Oh, they're nice. I think you mentioned the cards. Yeah, so Kabaza gave me some notes. I mentioned the brand, the colors, obviously, the animations and the cards, how they come in. So I've kind of naturally picked up on the same stuff as what he picked up on. Nice. Really cool. And in a similar vein, check out my one that I discovered today. Because, by the way, Posthog, I would love you as a partner. Share this tab instead. This is Posthog's website. Check this out. So it's basically like a working operating system. And you can go through to like pages here and it opens up new windows. Look at this. The amount of attention to detail, and probably to keep this all, it's all absolute position. I was going to say to keep it all, oh, Jesus, look at all these. Oh, so this is their blog, I guess, that you can just go back through the year. Close that. This is so, again, I haven't truly playing it. I literally saw it and I was like, oh, I've got to bring this up. For the main window here, everything's got a window. Look at that. Look at that. Kabaza, if you are watching, let us know actually in the comments, which do you prefer? Mine, this one, Posthog, or Kabaza's? I think obviously this one's more nerdy and technical, whereas Kabaza's is more like designy and whatever. So yeah, love it. That is sick. Now I'm guessing, see, I can't even, they've overridden the right clicking. Gatsby website. So it's preloaded. So there's probably a lot of You know, this isn't like a crazy. Can you see that all right? This isn't like a crazy thing that can only load with JavaScript and whatever. Very cool. A lot of attention to detail on this one. Lottie. So they're using Lottie. I'm not quite sure what exactly, unless this whole website's a Lottie. I don't know. Not too sure, but here you go. There you go. It's all here. Very cool. I wonder how long that website took, because that is a lot of attention to detail. It would have taken a long time to basically make an operating system. Sign in. So cool. Active Windows. Anyway, getting carried away there. So that was site of the week. Let us know which one you prefer. And like I say, I reckon we'll see some of these in the awards website soon. So let's get on with the main event. And I will. That's another problem as well, that without someone here, I'll do this very nicely. Okay, cool. Anthropic have finally done it. They've taken the crown for the best coding model in the world. Last week we had Gemini 3, GPT 5.1 Codex, but they all lacked one massive, crucial ability, and that's coding. So let's dive into Opus 4.5. This is the announcement, and the benchmarks are just insane. We won't focus too much on this because I know benchmarks are a bit of a yawn fest, but these are all the ones that is smashing it on. And the SWE benchmark was one that, again, Gemini 3 was the one that it lost on even last week, and now Opus 4.5 has taken the lead again, kind of smashing it. Mostly kind of developer staff and whatever, not so much on, everyday tasks and graduate level reasoning, visual reasoning, multilingual Q&A and things like that. It's not great on that, but that's not why we love it, right? It's cheaper. Get it on it now because it's cheaper until December 5th on most of the coding platform, most of the plugins and things like that. It's the same price as Sonnet. But overall, in fact, let's get it on OpenRouter. Overall, it is a cheaper model. So Opus 4.5. So it's $5 in, $25 out. It used to be, correct me now, it used to be $15 in, $75 out. So it's already cheaper, and now it's cheaper again. It's the same price as Sonnet on most of the platforms, except Claude Code, but I'm guessing the limits are higher. Sorry. Yeah, it's already a lot cheaper. So this is amazing. I would suggest, and I've made a short on this if you follow me on TikTok or YouTube, I would suggest using Opus plan mode, which I tend to give Opus the planning, the structure and all of that stuff with coding tasks. And then I have Sonnet actually do the coding tasks. I have Haiku set on my agents. So my agents run with Haiku just so it can churn those out quickly. I'd be tempted to sometimes use Haiku, depending on the coding task, using Haiku in the actual coding thing, but I always use Opus. I would strongly recommend just getting used to planning all of your coding tasks before actually doing them, even if they're kind of fairly short, fairly quick. So yeah, price, very, very welcome. Efficiency is, why have I got a note on efficiency there? Let's have a little look at the notes. Token efficiency is what I think I was mentioning there. The token efficiency is a lot better as well. I think you can look over on artificial intelligence benchmarks there as well. So a lot of token efficiency. And another thing which I probably in here is the cutoff date for the information. So it is August, I think I read. Let me have a little look. No, it's not there. I'm trying to think where I know where it is. It's in the models on Anthropic's website. It's down here, training cutoff date. So Opus 4.5 is here, is August 2025. So it's a really, really close cutoff date. And this is good for like, up-to-date libraries, just coding practices and things like that. I have some MCPs running that allow me to get the latest like articles and documentation and things like that, Exit MCP and Ref MCP, but it cannot hurt to have really up-to-date knowledge. Even the reliable knowledge cutoff date is March 2025. So this is really, really good. And there was another thing which I've released a video on. Oh, that was another thing as well. In the Claude desktop app, they've added now Claude code in the desktop experience, which is amazing. I haven't opened Claude the desktop in a while, and I haven't even used this tool. I'm signed out. So, which kind of replaces Claude Code for web a little bit. I can't tell you how pricing works for, because last month they gave you $1,000 of credit using Claude Code for the web. Is this Claude Code for the web? Technically, it's got to spin up a sandbox environment. Technically, there's a lot of crucial things. So I can't see. Maybe it's because I haven't updated. Oh, code. Here we go. Right, I'll share that with you now. Sorry. Stop screen. Window. Yeah, so there's two windows, unfortunately. But let me just quickly share this. So this is like what Claude Code now looks like. And then you've got code up here, which if I stop that screen share, which now looks like this. And even like some of the stuff I've been doing on Claude Code for the web appears in here. So again, is this using Claude Code credits? I'm not too sure, but either way, I'm here for it. And doing all this inside of just one desktop app is a really interesting, like, it would be cool if this connects with my local instance of Claude Code, really, because it's just a nicer UI, isn't it, really? We all like a bit of nice UI, but presumably, again, this has got to spin up remote environments, actually. So anyway, look at that. So yeah, Claude Code for the web. I made a video on it yesterday on my channel if you want me to do a little bit of a deep dive. But the other thing is that they've released a really interesting new search tool. They call it a tool search tool, and it is here are the docs. So sorry to bore you a little bit, but basically MCPs take up a lot of context. Tools, not just MCPs. I keep using the term MCPs, but it's not. It's tools as well. They take up so much context even before you've written a line of code, even before you've written a prompt or anything like that. And so we've seen a few articles with Anthropic discussing tools and how many tokens they take, and introducing things like skills, and all of this in the name of making tool use more efficient. But with Opus, along with Opus, they released a separate tool which searches other tools. So when you make a request to Claude, I want to try and here we go. Here's a let's go TypeScript. When you make a normal request to Anthropic SDK, it's not available in Claude Code. I will say this: when you make a normal request, you pass in a beta flag to use because this is a beta feature. And what you normally do is you pass it tools for it to be able to use in that request. And look, here we go. We've got a get weather one. We've got a search files tool here, and they've marked these as defer loading true. And that enables this tool that you've given it the ability to search them. So I think it's just this that gets sent into the context, which obviously is tiny. And this is able to then search that, get an understanding whether we need to get the weather or search files or something like that, and then use it. And then that's when it gets brought into context. So really, really cool new tool. They brought out 2 other ones. Oh, you can also defer loading to false if you do want that tool call, because presumably there's a bit of a performance hit here as well. But yeah, really, really cool. And here's an example of MCP, MCP utilization as well. So what have they got? MCPs. Oh, here we go. So they've referenced. This is a tool set. I've not actually seen this, so you're seeing me understand it in real time. So they've marked this as an MCP tool set, and then referenced the database server as the MCP name, which is an MCP server here. They've named it database server, so you're doing that. Default config, defer loading true. So it's slightly different to, just saying defer loading true, which is somewhere around there. I don't know. And same again there. So search events, I'm guessing this is maybe a tool within this MCP. I'm not too sure. Regardless, this is just how you would use it. So yeah, there's another 2 as well, which won't be here. It will be in the search tool search tool. Don't worry, I'm getting it all on another tab. And I went through this in my own channel video. So we can do that, and that's how it works. And then you've got programmatic tool call as well. So this enables a tool to be accessible by something that writes code for it, basically. So instead of, again, providing the tool, you say, hey, you can use my code to write code effectively. So this is an example here. And then finally, programmatic tool call as well, which we actually provide the information. Let me just double check that's the one. Here it is. We actually provide the tool inline. It's like an inline tool request. So this should help massively with the MCP problem, and I want this to come inside of Claude Code. That sounded weird, didn't it? I do want this inside of Claude Code. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, it saves them money, obviously, at the end of the day. It saves you money, at the end of the day, which Claude or Anthropic are not getting. And I'm thinking, is this a way to gather money? Because obviously Claude Code is a much cheaper version than using actual API calls. It's like, if you aren't subscribed to Claude Code or Claude's Max plan, and then you use their models inside a Cursor, those tend to be quite expensive, right? You might see this stuff used inside of Kilo Code, inside of Augment, all of those extensions using these features, but still, because they are using the API pricing, they're going to be more expensive. They'll figure it out, and then I think they'll build this into Claude Code, or they'll make it into like a skill. Like the skill would be the thing that utilizes this. I don't know how exactly they're going to do it, but just to say that it's not inside of Claude Code yet. I'm waiting for it because I'm fed up of turning MCPs on and off and managing them and this and that. It's a pain in the bum, because I'll forget an MCP's running and I'll be like, I've just done all that work, and all the while I've had Taskmaster MCP running, which takes up so much context and whatever. So that's kind of Opus 4.5 in a nutshell. Our general purpose model. I'm just checking my notes now. Sorry. Our general purpose model's done. Oh, I think this is a comment now. Let me do this. And I want to kind of summarize what I said at the beginning of this section, is that Gemini 3 launched last week, and let me know in the comments if you agree with this or disagree. Gemini 3 launched last week. which is fantastic. Multimodal. Its design capabilities are phenomenal. Check out our other videos as we went through anti-gravity and replit and things like that. The design capabilities are really good. But for general purpose, for research, for you using like just inference, just chatting with it, it's so good. I just don't understand. Like, I don't think the normal person needs much better than that. I think GPT kind of is there as well. You're splitting hairs at this point for general purpose AI. As I said, they lacked on the coding. And so then Claude is amazing at coding, really, really good at coding. I don't know, some people use it for writing. I think it's lost its edge a little bit on the writing side because GPT is more familiar, whereas I feel like Gemma 3 is more well researched. But oh, by the way, when I say familiar, I mean it's sort of down to earth. It's a bit more friendly. It's a bit more pedestrian, if that makes sense. It's just a bit more casual. When I say general purpose, what I mean is like Gemma 3 is good enough for just, using chat and whatever. Do we now need AIs to go really deep on certain tasks? So we'll get like a maths or a science research AI that one of these companies comes out with. Probably going to be Google, because I think they're already doing it. But are we going to stop looking for these AIs that just do it all and start being like, well, I need a writing AI. What's the best AI for that? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments whether you believe that these general purpose models are kind of like they're done, not very much need to get better, and we're going to be looking for better AIs that do really well at one thing, such as Opus 4.5 or Claude in general. Is just amazing at coding, and people will start to look elsewhere for other things. Saying that, video drop probably in the next couple of weeks. I literally spent the entire day running local coding models on my M1 Max and just seeing how they perform in Cursor. Really interesting and slow day. Like, I really wanted the M3 Ultra or something amazing, because they literally took like half an hour to 45 minutes just to run one query. But I was kind of ignoring the speed because I've got a slow machine, more focused on the kind of overall setup and the overall performance of how the model did with writing code and this and that. So, because you can just, you're not going to get better performance just because I've got a slow machine. You're going to get better performance in terms of speed, but you're not going to get better performance of the model. So anyway, that's a video to drop pretty soon. So yeah, Opus 4.5. I've been loving it. I haven't done as much code as I would like to have done with it, but when I've been using it, I've been really, really impressed. So really, really, really excited on that. Perplexity have just reinvented shopping with their digital try-on avatar. And I'm going to set up mine before your very eyes and see what all the fuss is about. So check this out. I have running on my, you can't do this in Europe, annoyingly, can you? But I have iPhone mirroring set up. And I'm going to set up in real time. I don't know if you've seen it, actually. We maybe even should have just gone through the article. But basically, with Perplexity, you can take a photo of yourself. And when you're shopping, you can personalize, I think it is. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but you can set up your avatar of you. And then when you're shopping on any website, it uses the photos of the clothes and all the rest of it. This is probably going to fail now, thinking about take a photo, take a selfie. No glasses or a hat. Let's get rid of those. Looking forward, even natural light, no harsh shadows. So what do you think? That's pretty good, isn't it? Because I'm on camera. Camera's not available for Mac. I thought this might be the case, so I'm just going to stop that. I'm going to put you on the actual article itself. And Here we go. So this is what I think it is. And then I'm going to set this up here. Okay. Use photo. Take full body photo. Okay. Is there a timer thing for this? Full body, just use simple environment, looking forward, even natural light, no harsh shadows. How can you do? How can you do that? They need a timer. Is there a timer here? Like, how am I going to take a full body in the mirror? All right, let's try it in the mirror. I don't know how. Use photo. Look at this, huh? Uploading and generating. You see that? And then we're going to do some. Okay, can you see this? It's just put me in a white t-shirt with my phone. Okay, your virtual avatar. Great. Done. So now let's just reconnect to my phone. And then bring you back here. Share screen, window, share. So if we go here and go, let's go ASOS. Oh, ASOS. This is hard because it's not picking up that I have a Dvorak keyboard. So let's go ASOS. And let's put me in something. Let's put me in a woman's dress. No, I don't know. I have no idea how this is working because I'm in Safari. So do I need to? How do I even do this? I should have really done some more research, shouldn't I? Is this something I need to? Manage. There I am, see? Is this something I need to do inside of share? Perplexity. Is that something I do in Perplexity? ASOS. Shopping. Maybe this is it. Okay. This looks good. Let's put me in this dress. If I can. Oh, gosh, this is a disaster. Maybe I can do this. And then reduce privacy. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Okay, well, maybe I'll need to do a bit more research. What do I do? What does this do? No. Writing tools. God damn it. I thought I would get like a special option or something like this to like say try it on, but I'm going to look over on this. If you're not experienced or part of his new shopping tools, there's a digital twin. Forget ordering clothes on, deliver ordering up, try on. Then offer to put my head on a generic body that didn't quite match my real physique. Apparently, it's supposed to help. Like it knows the stretches and all this sort of lot based on your avatar that you've uploaded. So apparently, Google have offered their own feature. Yeah, see? which I've not seen. Yeah, I just... What I'm going to do, you're going to have to probably wait for the edit of this, and I'm going to add this into the edit when I figure out how it's done. But it's pretty cool. Like, I think this is, I don't know, buying online, buying stuff online is a bit of a pain. I don't think it's going to replace, like, I recently bought a bunch of stuff from Primark and learned that Primark clothes, whether you have Primark in your country, I don't know, Primark clothes are like super small on me. Like, even though the inches are the correct size, everything came up small, so I'm having to take it all back. Shopping online is notoriously difficult, or you have to just buy all of the sizes and then try it on and then return everything else, and it's just such a waste of energy. Stick this back on, put my thinking cap back on. That's why I was being so stupid. This could alleviate that. This could alleviate having to do all that sort of stuff, So I'm here for it. Let's stop that now. What do you think about Trey? Tell me, Easy Club, when did you join this thing? Because I literally took you through it. I released a video on my personal channel yesterday. Have you watched all of those? I'll be happy to talk to you about, if you just let me know how much you already know from what I've already said. I'm waiting because we're going to go into the comments section now, which is how long or let me know how long you're going to stick around for, because otherwise I'll move on and then we'll pick it up at the end, because we're going to talk about cursor at the end as well, which might fall into that categorically. By the way, I can see 42 of you somewhere in the ether, 2 of you on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, give us a like. Join us over on YouTube. You can comment and you can join in the chat, because we can't really monitor the Twitter chat. Easy Club, let us know what you already know or what you've already heard me say, and then I'll launch off that. So this is the comment section where we take a look at what you have to say. Let us know what you think about anything you hear down in the comments, and we might just read it out. So this is going to be an interactive one, and it's probably going to, actually, I need to double check something. So this is we had a comment about the SAM 3 model. I'm going to get that up for you now, which is something I heard about, I reckon, years ago. And I'm talking maybe even 10 years ago. I don't know. I'll have to, it rung a bell, probably because it's called SAM. And someone left a comment. I'm just getting up for you now. Someone left a comment asking about what do we think of the SAM model. Maybe I can even search SAM. Sorry, guys, I need to get this in the shot for the edit. Otherwise, it will look crap. SAM. Lots of SAMs. Easy Club, are you there? Meta. Okay, fine. I'll have to add that into the edit too. So, SAM model. What it does, it is an object recognition model. I think probably we spoke about this when the Meta glasses first came out, and it's able to track things as a model, and they've just released SAM3. We were asked if we've played with it, and you've got to actually ask for access. You've got to request access, which I was hoping to be able to go through this with you guys, but you've got to request access. But let's go through the instructions and we can sort of talk a little bit about it. So yeah, object tracking, really simple. This is the code. This is all of the code you need. And you provide it a URL to the video, wherever it is, video path here. And then you give it a text prompt and it can track that video, whatever it is. Maybe it's track the dog, track the white football, or white team, or what player in white. There you go. And it's even ignoring some of the other players in white. It's because it's that frame, that first frame potentially. Looks really, really, really performant. And given that this is the text, and you can also train the model as well. So this is how to set it up. Conda is a Python version library, so you have to use it in Python 3.12. So you create an environment, a sandbox, if you will, of Python 3.12. You, I guess, deactivate your current Conda environment. You activate the SAM3 environment, which you just created. You install Torch and do all this, that, and the other. Clone the repo. You install it. And then I'm guessing somewhere here, you need to basically request access to the Hugging Face repo. If we click on this and go through, I've requested here, and if approved, you get 5 repositories, which you can then link to. God knows how they know it's you. Image path. Oh, yeah, you can load an image. So I'm guessing that's maybe the image you want to say, track this player or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's through your GitHub. Maybe it's you. I guess you're pointing it at the Hugging Face thing. So no, I don't know. But yeah, tracking stuff. I've got no need for this, but I would like to play with it. So with all that being said, if I do get access to Hugging Face, I will absolutely try this out. I might even get access to it. It looks like it's an internal search tool. You have to, during the application process, you have to put in your affiliate. And I don't know, I'm not, I just said I'm media. I'm just, I don't know what else to actually say. So anyway, shame we couldn't get access to that. But this looks very, very, very cool. I wonder how big, can we see how big the model is? 0.9 billion. So what's that? And that's 900,000. What else? I don't really go on Hugging Face. I don't really understand all of the, license, other, view license. Let's have a look here. Oh gosh. Unless required SAM materials, any output result therefore are provided by as is. SAM derivatives. You'll have to have a look at this to see if it fits your your use case or whatever. I'll try and update you on that as I can. How big is this? I suppose you don't download. I don't know how this works, but I suppose you don't download it onto your local machine. It runs on Hugging Face, so you don't run it on your local drive. I don't know, your local graphics card. Not too sure. Either way, SAM3, it's a new one. I'll let you know. I'll update you when I know a little bit more about that. So, yeah. Oh, Kabaz is in the house. How's it going? I'm not doing you very proud. I'm a shit show, to be honest. But there you go. Let's talk about Framer performance, and this is a big one. Let me close some of these down so it's less overwhelming. I can find what I need easier. So again, this is the comments. one video that did. And we got a comment on, oh my God, there's loads of comments on this one, actually. I forgot this. Oh, balls. It is on our, you're not happy about framework pricing. Now, this is weeks old, but someone, top is selected, you'll see feature. Oh, they don't allow you to look at comments anymore. Or at least they're not letting me look at comments. Top is selected. Well, how can I look at, oh, sort by? Can I not search? Here we go. It's right here. It's right here. Okay, guys, we sorted out pricing. I don't know what he means there. But why no one mentions the performance issues? Even on powerful computers, Framer drops frames because designers overload the pages with multiple shadows, filters, and layered effects that are heavy for the browser to render. Framer guys basically don't know how it affects performance. Also, copy-paste components. No one is trying to figure out how they work or how efficient they are. As a result, the interface looks beautiful but runs poorly. Framer seems so heavy compared to most websites on Webflow. This is Temio1. Obviously having a bit of a rant there. What he's saying is totally true. I mean, why is no one talking about this? Temo, if you watch this, go and look at my personal channel. The start of my whole channel, my Webflow and Code channel, was all about exactly what you're talking about here. This idea that you've got a bunch of designers who aren't aware about the website kind of limitations, and they are trigger happy with dragging and dropping and adding things and adding effects and whatever. And lo and behold, these sites get slow and sluggish. So it's not that no one is talking about it. It's just, this is not, I mean, first and foremost, it wasn't part of, we were talking about Framer's pricing. We weren't just going to suddenly talk about performance in the middle of a pricing discussion. Outside of that, this is a conversation, obviously, that's kind of tried and tested. Because of the accessibility, oh my God, I'm going to go on a rant now, aren't I? Because of the accessibility of things like Webflow, things like Framer, you're going to get a lot of people that don't care about web development and don't care about performance and things like that. They're just excited to get a website up and running. And, you know, I'm guilty of that when I first started coding, copying and pasting JavaScript functions I didn't know what did, and, you know, different orders and, you know, big bloated JavaScript file mess. You know, we don't know what we don't know at the end of the day. So on the one hand, there's a bit of sympathy and understanding that people of all, you're seeing work of people of all ages think that so much is happening for them because of these no code tools, that we're inevitably going to see very, very unperformant websites. Saying that as well, and something I've been thinking of recently, based on this comment, actually. So again, thanks for the comment. We will, like, I'm running on a M1 Max MacBook Pro. You know, let us know what you are using down in the comments. But we're all using very, very powerful computers. Heck, our phone is a very, very powerful computer. It's not safe to assume that everyone has got such powerful machines. Some people just have an old Android phone that can barely run the apps they've got installed on there. Some people are on computers that are like webbooks or whatever they call those little thin things, the ones the Apple Air kind of like killed or whatever. We are building websites on machines that are very, very powerful, and because we're pro, we think we need to get the best machine, and we do. You know, otherwise we're wasting time building these websites that are super slow. But we need to test our websites and look at our websites on slow machines. The easiest way to do that is you can throttle your I can't really show you on here without whatever. You can throttle your network traffic. That's one way of you know, imitating slow network traffic. I sort of feel like I want to have a shitty little PC, a shitty little notebook that is maybe 10 years old just to run websites on, because then you'll see, if you work that into your process, then you'll see how your performance is. The other thing is obviously Lighthouse. I used to shit on Lighthouse a little bit because, well, I will shit on Lighthouse actually, because what it can't tell you is, we've got accessibility, right? You've got an accessibility score. What it can't tell you is that you've written a piece of JavaScript that opens a menu that is the only form of navigation on that page. It doesn't know what your intent is when you're writing JavaScript and you're having all of these things available to you. So it will give you a good accessibility score. But actually, if you know what you're looking for, and if you look at the code, you'll be like, well, this is terrible accessibility because you're not letting the user know that there's a menu pop up here and this and that. So it can only respond to the information that you give it. However, performance, it absolutely can tell you how performant your website is, because it's probably running on, either its own sandbox, or it's doing some sort of CPU throttling or GPU throttling before it gets into Chromium browser, whatever you're using. So watching out for that performance score, I think, is a really important thing. What are the other ones it does? Performance, accessibility. I've forgotten. I haven't used it in a while because I've not built a website in a while. But I think that if you are building websites, the easiest way to get an accurate representation, or at least you're working blind, but you can get an indication of how performant your website is. That way, you build your website, run it through Lighthouse, and actually get, it might be running fine on your machine, but if you've got a Lighthouse score of like 20 or 50 or whatever it is, listen to that and try and get that score up. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. Related is another comment that we received on our anti-gravity. Oh, it's on my TikTok, actually, if we can even show this. I hate Notions. It's really quite bad. Oh, it is on here. Okay, cool. We're on it. We're here. So this is, I post on TikTok, but God, this style of website actually irritates me. Just slow and so little information. Now this is, I'm hoping it's on mute. This is the anti-gravity website, which, as designers and as people who are into the finer things in life, if this wants to load, the anti-gravity website is like animations and things like that. At the end of the day, you need to understand what the website you're building, here we go, here it is fit for. Who is this website for? Is it a website where people want loads of information? Is it an informational website? Or arguably in this case, it's a promotional website in which you can be a bit more liberal with fancy designs and animations and things like that. I actually would argue this chap down here saying so little information, just slow and so little information. I would argue that there is actually enough information here. Even in this first paragraph, Google's anti-gravity is our agentic development platform, evolving the IDE into the agentic first era. That tells me everything I need to know about, well, not everything I need to know, but at a glance, that's what this tool is. So I would argue there's so little information, but what I think he's done, James Truth here, he's kind of flipped the table and thrown his toys out the pram a little bit, which we all do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but he's just seen it and think he's neglecting any bit of information that he receives from the point of just seeing all of these, what he deems unnecessary animations. And that's what I mean. You need to understand what the purpose of your website is. If it's not a promotional website, if you're not trying to gain attention, then you need to, like, if it's a productive or productivity focused website, then probably you're going to want to tone down the animations. If it is a promotional website, then yeah, not go nuts, but just have some fun with it. Now, these aren't hard and fast rules. What is a hard and fast rule is understanding your audience, understanding the end user of the website before deciding whether animations and whatever is appropriate. That's where I think the annoyance comes from. From a personal taste perspective, some people just they hate all of the animations. What can you do about that? I don't know. Some people love the animations. You can't really do anything about taste. But what you can do is provide to the target market. And in fact, Google might not want James Truth downloading Google Anti-Gravity. Doesn't want him. That you're by being very specific, and we've spoken about this in the past, by being very specific. God, what is this scary little character here? Look. By being very specific about who your audience is, you're also batting away those who you don't want. Like, there's no harm, no foul in that. You've got to pick a lane and just run with it. And this is kind of my overall point here, is that you're not going to please everyone. You're not meant to please everyone. Don't try and please everyone, but understand who you are trying to please and build and design for them. Hope that makes sense. That was a bit of a long rant on the overall interactivity and design of a website, and hopefully some useful stuff there on how you can build better websites, or at least build more performant websites when you know nothing. When you know nothing about building and designing websites. You've got that Lighthouse tool. So we're coming to the end of it. I thought we'd bash this out in an hour. I ain't got Kabaza and I chatting. Are you still here, Kabaza? Do you want to? Do you have anything to say about that? He's not very well. Poor boy. That is kind of it, actually. We're going to go over the cursor tab here. We've got one more to go through, but let us know if you have any comments or suggestions on anything we've gone over. Easy Club, I'm still waiting on how much you know about Trey, unless you're watching my video now, to see if you can come back to me with some valid questions. But this literally happened just before the show, and it is, I saw someone. I should have got the original tweet, actually, but I can't get it on now. I saw someone post on Twitter of this a cursor offer a tab button thing. It looks cool. I hope, and I've answered my own question here. I hope this is a working tab button. It's basically a macro button, which is so cool, and even got a removal tool here for the keycaps. It looks so good. I want to buy this. I want to buy it. However, it's a reward for a certain amount of token usage using Cursor. And when I saw this tweet, we're just chilling out now, guys. We're going to wrap up in a bit. So yeah, feel free to, take me seriously or don't take me seriously at this point. I got so annoyed. When I saw this tweet. And I'm like, hang on. I'm here like not busting my balls, but I'm here promoting low context. We don't want to use loads of tokens. We want to get our context size down. We don't want to be just, including every single file in our code base in every single request that we ever do. If you're talking about a specific file, mention that file that you saw me do earlier when we're talking about Trey, bring our context size down. Yet at first glance, because we're about to go into it, Cursor are rewarding people for using up loads of tokens. And that was my monkey brain kind of going off on one there. And then I was like, hang on, this is actually really smart. And really, it's one of those things where they've really thought about this award. They're not rewarding for bad behavior. They're actually rewarding for really good behavior. I can't express how perfect I think this award is. Let me explain. We need to go full screen for this. This is a tab completion. Autocomplete is done through manual coding. It's not achieved through the agentic, thing, the agentic feature of Cursor. So it's not rewarding people for just vibe coding and just writing a prompt and eating up loads of context or whatever. It's rewarding those who are in the actual files themselves, where, as far as I'm aware, autocomplete is the context of what it uses is actually just the file itself. So it is the lowest amount of context available. Don't quote me on that exactly, but it's rewarding people who are still coding, who are still using AI to help them with their code, but ultimately are still coding. And that's what I love about this award. Not only does it look sick, and I want one, but what's the word I'm looking for here? The inspiration or the narrative or the the concept behind this reward is really good, and that's all I have to say about that. I really want one, but truthfully, I'm not. I'm an agentic coder. I'm trying to get just because I see. And in fact, I'm going to go on another little rant now. Well, not rant, but I see the future of programming obviously as agentic, because and we spoke about this last week, while some people just find agentic coding boring because they're basically turning into a manager, I love it because not only am I getting fulfillment writing code, I'm architecting code and managing code. I'm able to also provide my attention and care on the product. And I've mentioned this in the past. This only works if you're already a solo developer. I would love to work with someone on some product agentically and just see how that works. That's something that's very much missing from my repertoire of knowledge. But I'm dealing with the cards I've been given. I work on my own. I'm trying to become the best agentic coder that there ever was. And so with that, I'm really leaning into rules. I'm really leaning into MCPs. I'm really leaning into tools such as CodeRabbit that review my code, just so I'm a really good agentic programmer. So I'm not actually writing a tremendous amount of code. So I'll never win this award, unfortunately, unless Cursor somehow sees this video and gives me a Cursor tab just for being a good guy. Then I'll never see one of these the light of day, but I do really, really want one. In fact, I'm still waiting on a Framer thing. Have you guys seen this? Framer. Oh, what's it called? If you know, it's like a little keyboard. It's like a macro keyboard. Work louder. I'm still waiting on this. I paid like $150 for it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's in stock. It's not saying it doesn't ships in 3 business days. Huh. I've got some emailing to do. Oh, sorry, I'm not even sharing my screen. It's this thing. Yeah. I don't know why my screen's frozen here, but it's all you need to see anyway. It ships. You can't see it on the screen here, but it's in stock and it ships in 1 to 3 days. So I have no idea where that is. Framer, again, if you're watching, I want my Work Louder keyboard. Or at least I need to contact Work Louder. So yeah, I'll get in touch for that. So yeah, that was all we have time for. Do make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube at Cmd+AI.show. Like, how many people, if you're on YouTube right now, give us a like, give us a comment to say, yo, we're here, we showed up, because yeah, that'd be greatly appreciated. Like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And join us next week for all the news in AI, design, and dev. I've been Sam, and keep on vibing.